Good to have you with us. You're watching The Big Story. I'm Avni Raja. Let's straight take you through the latest developments. Now it's day 35 of the lockdown. India is closing in on 30,000 coronavirus cases at this point. We're talking about a total of 29,435. This includes 934 deaths. Let's start by talking about this incident that's come to light from Tamil Nadu that really highlights the desperate situation that some daily wage workers are in at the moment as a result of the lockdown. Now, several daily wage workers were seen eating spoilt rice, and what's even more shocking is that this rice, spoilt rotten rice, was dumped near the toilet. And these daily wage workers were forced to eat that rice because they had no other means of obtaining food, as they were left without any kind of money and obviously no form of livelihood.
நாங்கள் ஒன்றாவது வாரம் குலசேகரன் பாண்டியத்தில் இருக்கோம். இங்கே வந்து நாங்கள் சாப்பாட்டுக்கே வழி இல்லாமல் இங்கே மலம் போகிற இடத்துல கிடக்கிற அரிசி அள்ளி எல்லாம் சமைக்கிறதுக்காண்டி வந்து எடுக்க வந்திருக்காங்க சார். எந்த நிறுவனத்துலேருந்து வந்து கொட்டி விட்டு போயிருக்காங்கன்னு தெரியல. என்ன கடையிலேருந்து வீட்டரிசி தான், பொன்னி அரிசி 45 ரூபா அரிசி ஒரு சிப்பஞ்சிப்பமாக கிடந்துச்சு. அதுவுமே வீசுது சார். அது மலம் கழிக்கிற இடத்துல கிடக்கு, மலமும் அந்த அரிசியும் ஒன்றா கிடக்கு. அதை அள்ளிக்கு போய் சமையல் பண்ணி சாப்பிட்றதுக்கு மக்கள் போகிறாங்க சார்.
Meanwhile, let's move on to Chhattisgarh and Raipur specifically, where in a bid to send out a strong message against lockdown violators, a youth was arrested after he live streamed a joyride in his BMW. This happened late on Sunday night. When the Raipur police in fact noticed this, they immediately arrested the youth and in fact then made him stream his arrest, the process of arrest as well on social media. Govind is joining us on the phone line. Govind, take us through the details of what happened here. Police, seem to be wanting to drive home the point of importance of maintaining the lockdown and hence made him, put up the process of him being arrested live streamed as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Police have done the same as police had to do, and this guy has been arrested by police because the big, whatever the episode of arresting was quite harassing and disappointing. What kind of example were these kind of young generation people want to set up in the society where the international pandemic, Corona, is a crisis. The big crisis is being faced by entire country. And in Raipur, this guy, Abhishek Soni, on Sunday night, late night, he went out of his home to take food from one of the dhaba. And then after this whole sequence, he just recording in camera and it was being played on the Facebook Live. And then after police come to know about this kind of offense of one of the young guys and he was arrested by police, then even the arresting pictures he also posted on the Facebook. So this is absolutely what we can understand, the kind of insanity is being played by this young guy. And now police has arrested him and taught him a lesson of breaking down the rules of lockdown. So this is not the first incident. Even before, the Ferrari car rider was also caught in Indore. And now BMW car rider there in Raipur was caught by police violating the rules of lockdown. So this is what we can understand, that this kind of example can never be set up in the condition when the lockdown is there just to fight with the pandemic Corona, and you just doing such kind of insanity, which is quite unpardonable.
All right, Govind, thanks so much for joining us with all of those details. That's the latest incident coming to light from Chhattisgarh's Raipur. But let's now turn our attention to the national capital. In fact, video has captured an argument that took place between Delhi Minister Imran Hussain and Delhi policemen over social distancing. Now, Hussain had reportedly come out to observe whether people were following lockdown orders in Delhi's Sadar Bazaar area during Ramzan. But he himself was accompanied by 15 other people when he was confronted by the police. The minister and the officer accused each other of not following social distancing measures. No action, of course, at this point has been taken against the Delhi minister as of now. Alok is joining us for more details. Alok, can you take us through this entire sequence of events here? It seems like, on one hand, in an effort to try and ensure that the lockdown is being implemented, but obviously here taking no cognizance of the fact that, the minister was coming with 15 other people himself.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, this is not the first time when this kind of behavior that has come to light from the minister, who is the Delhi minister. In fact, earlier also we have seen, and there are instances when there are non-cooperation between the Delhi police and the ministers of Aam Aadmi Party is seen. This is one of those instances. Remember, this incident happened yesterday around 6 p.m. when Imran Hussain went to Sadar Bazaar. He wanted to see whether the people are following the lockdown orders. Remember, during the time of the Ramzan, there were reports that people are not following the lockdown orders. So that this is the reason he went there. But unfortunately, he was accompanied by more than 15 persons. And when the Sadar Bazaar police station, SHO, station house officer, spotted that he himself is accompanied by 15 persons, then he started arguing him. At the same time, the arguments started from both the sides, which is completely audible on the video as well. But later after that, when the matter came to senior officers, senior police officials, they say that they are probing the incident, but as of now they haven't registered the case. In fact, the police officer at that point in time tried to pacify, tried to justify that why he is himself accompanied by 15 persons. So definitely the matter could be looked into it. As of now, no reaction has come from the Delhi government, but Delhi police says that they are conducting some kind of inquiry into it.
All right, Alok, in fact, stay with us. Let's also talk about this other part of the national capital here, where shelter homes in North and Central Delhi are in a terrible condition, according to a report submitted by the Delhi police to the Delhi government. Now, as per this report, there are 12 shelter homes who have problems such as fans not working, no power backups, no sanitation, toilets either. And the copy of this report has in fact been accessed by Mirror Now, which also mentions the rude behavior of civil defense personnel deployed by the Delhi government as well. So Alok, what can you really tell us about this particular report and the fact that all of this has now come to light regarding the state of these shelter homes? Is anything being done to fix it?
Well, if we talk about the shelter homes, the condition of shelter home is not at all very much good. If we talk about all across the nation as well, in fact, that includes the national capital. However, there were incidents happened in which the people who are inmates of the shelter home, they complained against the mismanagement, they complained against the staff which are deployed there. And in fact, there were incident happened at Kashmiri Gate shelter home where the inmates vandalized the shelter home because there was a mismanagement. The food distribution was not at all properly, and also the behavior of the civil defense employees were rude. So on that note, the Delhi police conducted this survey, and this survey was conducted on 12 shelter homes that is located in North Delhi and Central Delhi, in which they found out that there were shortcomings. That includes that the food and water is not being delivered properly, the food quality is not good, sanitization work is not happening in the toilets, the cleaning work is not happening properly, and also there is a violation of social distancing as well, and the misbehavior by the civil defense employees, and the civil defense employees are those who are deployed to the Delhi government. So these are the shortcomings that has come to light. Now the report has been submitted to District Magistrate of North. When we talk to the North District Magistrate, he said that he has ordered the inquiry into it, and also ask the other officials to look into it so that the whole thing, whatever the shortcomings are, that could be rectified.
All right, Alok, thanks so much for joining us and getting us all of those details on both those stories. Let's now shift focus to the city of Mumbai, where Mumbai police has now issued an order which sends policemen above the age of 55 on leave. Now, this after 3 policemen lost their lives in the last 1 week. There are over 50 cops who have tested positive in the city. Cops above the age of 52 years with ailments like diabetes and hypertension as well will be sent on leave.
We have decided to allow all personnel above 55 years of age in the constabulary to proceed on leave. Apart from this, all personnel above 52 years of age with previous medical history, that is blood pressure, hypertension or diabetes or such related conditions, have also been allowed to proceed on leave effective today. With this, we hope to minimize their exposure to the virus, and we hope that this will help us in maintaining their health standards.
In last 7 days, unfortunately, 3 cops of Mumbai police succumbed to coronavirus, and unfortunately 50 plus in the force are still corona positive. Now if we talk about Maharashtra, there are total 101 cops who are positive and total 1661 cops are quarantined. Keeping the situation of Mumbai police cops in mind, now Mumbai police has come up with a new order where those who are above 55 years of age, those cops will be sent on medical leave, and those cops who are above the age of 52 and have ailments like hypertension, diabetes and heart related ailments, they will also be sent on medical leave. In Mumbai, this is Santhya reporting for Mirror Now.
Meanwhile, in Faridabad, a war room has been set up with 10 helpline numbers where people can call and address their grievances. This in order to ensure the smooth functioning of administration in the district. The officials through these war rooms are also making sure that essentials are reaching those who need it. Take a look.
24-hour surveillance system, a 24-hour helpline. That is what Faridabad has created. We're talking about the war room which has been set up by the district of Faridabad. You can see all of these individuals who are working at the helpline center, ensuring that the needs, all of those curfew passes and various other help to the individuals of Faridabad, of the citizens of Faridabad, can be provided. We are currently also joined by the DC of Faridabad, Mr. Yashpal Yadav. We'll try and speak to him as well. Sir, how many calls on a daily basis are you receiving? Because ultimately, you know, it's all about receiving calls, helping out to the people and reaching out to the people.
Initially, when we started this, we are getting more than 2,000 calls a day. Now, after launch of this mobile app, the number of calls certainly have decreased because more and more people are using this app now. And through app, we are collecting the whole information and providing the help to the people. So there are major 2-3 categories which we are getting constantly. Number one is regarding dry food ration distribution, cooked food distribution, and some health problems. So on the basis of these complaints, we are distributing food packets and cooked food and health services also to the residents of Faridabad.
My last question is regarding a recent decision which was taken by the district of Faridabad, sir. It seems that this area has been, the borders have been sealed somehow. Delhi has obviously, you know, raised its apprehensions, raised its concerns. There are various people who are saying that, you know, they have to work in Delhi or vice versa. They come to Faridabad to work, and they are facing certain problems, including doctors who've also written. So how do you see this, and what is something that of respite that can be expected?
Ministry of Home Affairs has issued some clear-cut guidelines, and as per those guidelines we allow movement of services and people, but during last 1 week or so we found that a lot of people who are not falling in these categories are crossing border on both sides. So last 2 days we have put some restrictions, and those categories which have been specifically mentioned by Ministry of Home Affairs and a few services which have been locally identified and permitted, those are allowed to cross borders, and remaining are asked not to visit unnecessarily.
So there you heard from DC Faridabad very categorically explaining as to what exactly was the reason behind sealing of the borders, but at the same time also and explaining as to what exactly led behind this innovative idea of launching a surveillance system at par with a helpline number so as to ensure food supplies goes on unhindered.
We're on to Kashmir now, specifically in Srinagar, where the Central Reserve Police Force has started its own sanitation and decontamination drive for its troops. Now, as part of this protocol to keep Jawans safe, the special decontamination teams on a daily basis visit small units as well as bunkers at various locations to spread disinfectant. In fact, our correspondent Mir Farid sends us the special report.
While the spraying and decontamination part has been handled by the Srinagar Municipal Corporation as far as Srinagar is concerned, as they have been going to various areas for decontamination drives, but as far as forces are concerned, especially CRPF, which has a major ground presence as far as Srinagar and other areas are concerned, they are doing their own decontamination. As you can see, this is CRPF's own team of people who do decontamination, and they are moving around in these positions as far as CRPF is concerned, because we know they take care of law and order across Kashmir Valley. So there are many outposts, many bunkers and mobile positions that they take care of, and as you can see, they have their own decontamination drive, and we have seen that this has been launched very recently. The CRPF and other forces are now doing their bit. They are taking care of their own men and their positions through these decontamination drives. There have been other initiatives as well, which includes giving out PPRs, giving out masks to people, and then also ration distribution that they are doing. So this is something that has come into this, not only positions but vehicles, bunker vehicles and otherwise, all of them are being sanitized and being decontaminated by the CRPF. So this is something that has come in, and obviously as this threat has increased, and especially as far as these forces are concerned, they live together, and they live in quarters and areas which are very closely knit to one another, be it barracks, bunkers. So it is very important for them as well to carry on with these decontamination drives and have their own teams which would perform this. So this is something that has been initiated by the CRPF, and I can tell you, as far as other forces, be it the BSF, Army, other belt forces are concerned, all of them have now decided to come up with their own protocol, which also includes decontamination drives to ensure that they keep this deadly virus at bay.
Meanwhile, Maruti Suzuki, one of the biggest automobile industry companies in India, was recently granted permission to continue the maintenance of their plant in Manesar. Maruti had applied for passes for 5,000 workers for this purpose, but has received only 600 passes so far. Take a look at this ground report.
We're right now standing outside the IMT Manesar plant of Maruti Suzuki, one of the biggest industries in the state, which has started their operations. Not operations, but the district administration has only given them permission for 600 people so that they can maintain the plant. As a clarification, there is absolutely no production that is happening inside the plant, but only the maintenance of the plant has been issued, and for that 600 people in this particular plant of Manesar IMT Maruti Suzuki has been given permission by the district administration. Also, to show you the kind of arrangements that the security has at the entrance of the plant, that every person who goes inside the plant, there are boxes and there are arrangements where people have to stand inside. They get sprayed by disinfectants, and thermal screening is happening at the entrance of each gate of the Manesar plant of Maruti Suzuki, and which is why only 600 people, where the plant had demanded permission for 5,000 workers to start the production, but the Gurgaon administration clearly said that no production will take place before the lockdown ends, and only 600 people have been given permission by the district administration so that they can maintain the plant from inside.
But let's now turn our attention to Chennai, where the police came up with a creative new punishment for lockdown violators. Remember, in Tamil Nadu, the police have been, taking different methods to try and drive home the importance of the lockdown and ensuring people stay home. And this is yet one more method. The people violating lockdown norms in Chennai were made to walk backwards in a circle. And you can see that visual there on your screen. And they were made to chant, "We won't do it again." So that was the punishment that was meted out to these lockdown violators in Chennai, being made to walk round backwards in a circle, all of them together, and being made to chant, "We won't do it again." And hopefully that would then drive home the point that for them not to come out unless absolutely necessary. Well, moving on now, the government reiterated that the plasma therapy was still at an experimental stage and that there is still no concrete evidence that it is a proven method of treatment for the coronavirus. The Indian Council of Medical Research has even launched a study on plasma therapy at this point in time.
I would like to mention about the plasma therapy for COVID-19, which has been talked about of late. इस पर काफी चर्चा हो रही है. In this regard, let me clarify that ICMR has already stated very clearly that currently there are no approved therapies for COVID-19, including plasma therapy. मैं फिर से आप लोगों की दृष्टि में लाना चाहूंगा कि कोविड-19 के लिए आज देश में क्या दुनिया भर में भी कोई अप्रूव्ड थेरेपी नहीं है. एंड plasma therapy is one of the therapy which is being experimented with. However, so far there is no evidence to support it as a treatment. यह अभी भी experimental stage पर है. इसका कोई एविडेंस नहीं है कि इसको ट्रीटमेंट के रूप में इस्तेमाल किया जा सकता है. यूएस एफडीए ने भी इसे एक एक्सपेरिमेंटल थेरेपी के रूप में ही देखा है. आईसीएमआर ने एक नेशनल स्टडी को लॉन्च किया है ताकि वह इस थेरेपी की एफिकेसी के बारे में स्टडी कर सके. इसलिए इस विषय में यह क्लैरिफाई करना बहुत जरूरी है, अति आवश्यक है कि जब तक कि आईसीएमआर अपनी स्टडी को कंक्लूड ना कर ले, रोबस्ट साइंटिफिक प्रूफ अवेलेबल ना हो, तब तक इस थेरेपी को केवल हम या तो रिसर्च या ट्रायल पर्पस के लिए ही उपयोग करें. इनफैक्ट जो प्लाज्मा थेरेपी है, अगर इसको हम प्रॉपर तरीके से प्रॉपर गाइडलाइंस के तहत इस्तेमाल ना करें तो इससे लाइफ थ्रेटनिंग कॉम्प्लिकेशंस भी हो सकती हैं.
Let me go across to Ayushman, who's joining us for more details. Ayushman, we do know that plasma therapy is at an experimental stage. Various states are experimenting with plasma therapy. There have been some positive signs that have emerged, but nothing concrete as yet. But can you take us through what the government is saying at this point in time with regard to plasma therapy?
Avni, first of all, the Delhi government had appealed that all those people who have got treated, they should come forward and their blood will be taken and the plasma will be used on terminally ill patients. And after that only the query was pending there with the health ministry as to what is happening at the central level. What is the health ministry have to say on the current status of convalescent plasma therapy? And today the ministry has clarified that it is still in the experimental stage. It should not be used as a diagnosis in the diagnostic method, and it has clearly said that ICMR is conducting a study. We know of that we have reported that also that 99 institutes have come forward to assist the ICMR in this study, out of which 30 institutes will be given the opportunity to work with ICMR on convalescent plasma therapy. And currently, one institute from Gujarat and one institute from Rajasthan, they have been given the permission to carry out the clinical trial. Now, It is very important to mention here, Avni, that it is still in clinical trial and it should not be used for diagnosis.
Right. Yes, absolutely, Ayushman. Very important point to be reiterated there as far as plasma therapy is concerned. Thanks so much for joining us with all of those details.